Iron Campbell here again for another video. So, I just wanted to say thank you guys very much for 50 subscribers, even though I'm nearly at 80. 50 is just a better, it's around a number. The streets of Rother were quiet, more silent than usual, even for this remote pocket of Scotland. It was the kind of summer night where windows stayed open and waves gently tapped against the shore. But at exactly 1:54 a.m., a male stepped into the dark with something horrifying hidden in his clothing. CCTV would later catch him slipping out of his house. Hood up, eyes low, walking toward Arge Road, the very same street where 6-year-old Alesha MacPhail was sleeping, curled up under a blanket with a Peppa Pig DVD menu looping on the TV. By the way, this is Dark Case, and you can call me Jack. I bring you rare and unseen true crime cases as well as other things that you may later regret knowing, with multiple uploads every single week. In fact, right now I'm uploading Monday to Friday, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, make sure you join the Dark Case family now by hitting subscribe and turning all notifications on. And now for today's silly little question. If you had to eat only one food every day for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? All of your support over on Patreon, as well as right here, via channel memberships on YouTube, are so appreciated, and I really can't thank you all enough. However, thank you. But now on with the video. Did you hear that click? That was my ankle. Tony McLachlan had been asleep for just under 2 hours. When Aaron first tried to reach her, her phone vibrated quietly on the bedside table. 1:47 a.m. and then again, 1:48 a.m. Tony didn't hear either of them. Then the messages came later. Aaron had once been a regular customer, buying illicit substances from Tony and her boyfriend Robert, who was also Alesha's father. But this arrangement had fallen apart months earlier after a petty falling out, and Tony hadn't spoken to him since. She would later say that she had no idea why Aaron was trying to contact her that night, but we would later discover that his timing wasn't just strange. It was actually chilling. Callum MacPhail's alarm went off. Just after 6 a.m. he was due to start work early and had a quiet routine. Kettle on, boots by the back door, check on the sleeping household. But today something was off. The door to Alesha's bedroom, usually shut, but today it was slightly ajar. He peered in and the bed was empty. As he started checking through the rest of the home, he saw that she wasn't in the bathroom nor on a sofa, not curled up under a blanket. After waking up early, Callum's chest began to tighten. Quickly, the whole family tore through the home, calling her name. They checked everywhere, under beds, inside wardrobes, out into the garden. There they saw her bike and scooter sat untouched. Angela King, Alesha's grandmother, grabbed the phone and dialed 999 at 6:23 a.m.
She then made a public Facebook appeal just moments later. Has anyone seen our granddaughter? She's only 6. Please help. Angela would later describe watching an ambulance rush past their home towards the hotel ruins in the hills. In that moment, she felt her stomach sink. If that's my granddaughter up there, Callum told officers, then I want to know. The day before had been almost perfect. She spent it doing the things that she loved, playing at the park, paddling in the sea, laughing on the ferry home from a birthday party that wasn't even hers. She'd made a new friend and chased a balloon along the beach until it popped. She stole a slice of pizza from her dad's plate with a giggle. She was on the Isle for the first half of her summer holiday, staying with her father, Robert, his girlfriend Tony, and her grandparents in their seafront flat along Arbeg Road. That night, Alesha was playful and hyper. Perhaps it was a sugar from the party. She was annoying her grandpa Callum by bouncing on his bed and hitting him with a deflating balloon. And she ended that evening the same way that she always did, with a cuddle. "Good night, Grandpa," she said. and she was tucked in at around 10:30 p.m. and the Peppa Pig DVD was left on. By sunrise, the entire island was looking for her. Locals walked the shoreline. Volunteers from the Bute Resilience Team knocked on doors. A Coast Guard helicopter hovered over rooftops. Angela King's Facebook post spread quickly and within just minutes. George Williams, who lived near the abandoned Kyle's Hydropathic Hotel, read the status and then joined the search. He walked the wooded path behind his home towards the overgrown hotel ruins. And there, at 8:54 a.m., the search was over. In the trees, lying on her side in the dirt was that small, fragile body with no clothing. George crouched down and checked for a pulse. Then he stood trembling and dialed 999. His words, "I found the wee girl. She's dead." Paramedics arrived within minutes, followed by the first police unit. Detectives quickly confirmed the unthinkable. This was Alesha. They later calculated the walk from her bed to this location would take just 15 to 17 minutes. When police examined the soles of her feet, they found no marks, no dirt, and no damage. So, this meant that she hadn't walked to her final location. Instead, she must have been carried at Rother Police Station. A quiet room had already been prepared. A uniformed officer closed the door behind them. "We found her, but she has passed. She was just 900 meters away, found lying on her side. And what I can say is that I confirm now that the body recovered at Arbeg Road is that of Alesha MacPhail, who was reported missing around about 6:25 on Monday, the 2nd of July. H. What I can say now is that we are treating her death as a murder investigation. When the news spread, everybody seemed to get up and start running about. So, I think it was just at that time. In the morning, do you know what I mean? Where people were waking up or just gone to work and realizing what had happened. A wee bit later, we get word, but the body had been found. We were still kind of hoping for the best, which she was still alive and then we found that she was dead. Wee bit later. It just shocked everybody. Pathologist Dr. John Williams would later describe 117 injuries, some likely caused by vegetation in passing, but some not. There were signs of smothering, pressure to the face and neck. There had been blunt strikes and then no real attempt to hide her. Her innocence had been destroyed and then discarded right there in the woods. And the person that had done this had already gone back home, washed the red off their hands, and gone back to bed. It was past midnight on the 3rd of July, barely 24 hours since Alesha had been found. This is when Jeanette Campbell reviewed her footage. At first, she had helped to search just like everyone else. She'd assumed that Aaron, her son, was just another worried local teen. She even asked him directly if he knew anything. His response was, "There's no way they'd find my DNA because I'd been nowhere near that wee girl." Still though, something lagged at the mother. This led her to searching through her CCTV feed from the cameras that were mounted on their home. And now a whole new nightmare was about to unfold. She watched Aaron leave at 1:54 a.m., then return at 3:35, before leaving again at 3:44 wearing only shorts. He then returned once more before leaving again at 3:58, this time in a different outfit, grey t-shirt, shorts, dark shoes, and a torch in his hand. Finally, he returned for the last time, at 4:07 a.m. Each trip was extremely short, which suggests that maybe they were purposeful. Jeanette froze. He had left the house 3 times during the very hours that Alesha must have vanished. And for some reason, her son never mentioned this. The mother now had to decide what to do next. She brought the footage to the police herself. She did this, she would later say, simply to remove him from suspicion. Tony had been the last adult to see Alesha, alive just after 11 p.m. She had quietly entered her room to turn off the Peppa Pig DVD. Alesha had already fallen asleep, her face turned gently to the wall. Tony would later describe her in court as peaceful. Her hair fanned out across the pillow, breathing softly still. She whispered good night and then closed the door. And off she went to her own bed. Then just hours later, when she saw those missed calls, she didn't think much of it. But at 6:29 a.m., as panic swept through the flat, she tried calling Aaron back, but he didn't answer. At 9:01 a.m., his response came, "Sorry, doesn't matter," with 2 laughing emojis. And then when she told him that Alesha was missing, he replied, "Oh, damn. I'm sure she's not went too far. Kiss." But sadly, she had.